Hey guys, it's Javen again, and today I'm here to give my reaction to UFC 198, Verdun versus Stipe Miocic. That was a sad night for me, to be honest. I left the restaurant I watched it and pretty sad, pretty disappointed in Verdun, to be honest. Props to Miocic for landing that strike, knocking him out moving backwards. That's not easy to do. Especially, it wasn't like a lucky punch. While moving backwards, he was still in position to throw a powerful strike. So it wasn't just him leaning back and then swinging. He was moving back but still posturing up. So props to him for doing that. But I feel like if Verdun would have fought smart, that wouldn't have happened, to be honest. Verdun went into that fight like it was a street fight. There was no technique. He ran in swinging, not blocking his face or anything. It was embarrassing. I don't know if the pressure of fighting in Brazil with 45,000 people got to him. I don't know if he felt like he had to prove something, or he hasn't fought I think in 8 months or so. So I don't know if he felt like he had to have a quick finish for the crowd and for the people for not stepping up before fighting Stipe. My apologies. But it just wasn't Verdun. Oh man, so disappointed in his performance. And he could have won that fight if he fought smart. But Stipe took advantage of that. If I'm being honest, I don't really see Stipe holding that belt for a long time. Someone like Kane would just take him down and smother him. His hands are the best in that division, probably one of the best. I say the best. But he's definitely top 3 with his hands. But Verdun should have fought a better fight, a smarter fight, and that just wasn't what I wanted to see. But he'll be back. I think he needs to be a winner too, and he's back into the title contention. I think Alistair's probably next, and then I'm assuming if Kane wins, they'll either do that rematch to see who fights the winner of Stipe and Alistair, or just give Kane the next shot. So there's not a big line at heavyweight, but there's a couple of contenders that may put Verdun on hold. Co-main event was so whatever. Jacare finished Vitor. I had a feeling that would happen. Vitor, whenever he gets mounted, he just looks like doo-doo. Poor performance from him, but whatever, it is what it is. I had a feeling that would happen. Vitor's been fighting for a while now. I think 19 when he started, or he won the belt. One or the other. Basically, he's been fighting for years, about 20 years. So, props to him for still being a top guy. But I just seen Jacare taking that pretty easily, which he did. The Shogun Corey Anderson fight was so. I feel like Corey Anderson won that fight, but they just gave it to Shogun because the first and second round he dropped Corey Anderson twice. But other than that, I don't feel like Shogun did enough to win. But he was in Brazil. It is what it is. The other fights are so. Matt Brown, Damian Maia. Poor Matt Brown. He got beat up before getting into the octagon. If you haven't seen, he was getting hit by fans, and apparently his ex-coach or something like that was one of them. And then just got back mounted for 3 rounds and then finally submitted in the 3rd. So, it wasn't, an intriguing fight, a fun fight to watch if you want to see, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. But, Damian pulled it off, which I knew he would. I had a feeling he would submit him. I don't know. Damian is great at what he does, but do you really want to see a champion who's just gonna, who pulled the Cookie Monster versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who just kept shooting in? It's mixed martial arts. If you're gonna throw some hands, throw some kicks, and then shoot, do certain things. But I feel like Damian was so eager for that takedown. It looked desperate, to be honest, but he got the job done. It is what it is. And then Cyborg. It wasn't as devastating as I thought it would be. But poor Leslie, she complained about an early stoppage. And I somewhat agreed at first, but then watching the fight 2 more times, when she was on the floor, when she was turning, she wasn't really defending herself. So she was out of it, but she wasn't out of it. It was weird. But even if they gave her another 5 or 10 seconds, another 30 seconds, I mean, we've seen how dominant Cyborg was. She fought a lot smarter. She didn't rush in and start throwing hands as she used to. You know, you can tell she strategized well. Was picking her shots. She hit like a man. Oh my gosh. I feel bad for those girls, man. And she weighed in at 139. I still don't feel like she can make 135, because if you've seen her in the weigh-ins or like the UFC embedded before she stepped out, she looked like Skeletor a little bit. Kind of like a Conor McGregor when he cuts weight. Not as bad, but pretty bad. So, I mean, those girls better start, you know, packing their bags. Cyborg's coming. It could have been more devastating, but again, I feel like Cyborg was more patient with her strikes and didn't come out and just attack. So, but she still violated. So, point being, overall, the card was with all the big names, there's a lot of expectation for the fights. But there were some great fights. There were some decent fights. But overall, I give it a B or C. Nothing too special, but yeah, that's my opinion. So leave your comments. I enjoy talking about it. I'll comment back. I love talking to other people about UFC. And subscribe. Do what you do best. Thank you guys for watching and listening. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. I'm going to do some more UFC predictions and try to keep you guys entertained as much as possible. Thank you so much. Follow my social media accounts in the bio. And I appreciate your time. Enjoy.